Here I have stitched a line of Rosette chain in the Ellen's pincushion, and here's that same stitch going around a circle. It curves nicely, but it also makes a great straight border. You can do just a single rosette if you want to, but you don't usually see it just as a single one because it just chains so nicely. So I have a separate video for left-handed stitches on this because I want to show this with two variations, either making it with the needle pointing away from you or with the needle pointing toward you. So let's break it down into the basics. That you start with a twisted chain stitch. So since I'm sewing right-handed, I'm going to be moving from left to right. That's just a more natural way to do it. And I always want to keep track when I'm making a twisted chain of where am I putting the twist? What direction do I wrap from? Because if I wrap from the wrong direction, the stitch will just fall apart. So I've come off to the right of where my thread's coming out. So that means that I have to have the wrap going around from the right under the needle and coming out above the needle on the left. Now I use the thumb of my offhand to stabilize the stitch, and we do what my sister likes to call pinch and pull. You kind of pinch it down and you pull the thread through. And now I have to pass the needle under the first leg of the stitch. And again, I'm not going under the fabric, okay? I just have to keep it pinched in place. And so there's my first little rose or rosette. And now I just continue in this manner. From here on, it's easy to keep track, I think, of the twist because the thread came out on the left, the needle's on the right, so I'm wrapping around from right to left. And you can see the twist. If you can't see the twist, then you haven't twisted it. Okay, so I've pulled it through. There's the twist. I pass it under the leg, pinch it in place, and pull it through. And so you can see these just chain together. And when you're finished with the whole row, you can just take the needle, sink it down to the back. Now, several designers and authors that I like stitch this, what I consider to be upside down, but this is the way they illustrate it. The thread travels exactly the same way. So now my thread, though, I'm going to be moving, since I'm in opposite land, and I'm upside down, I have to stitch from right to left instead of left to right. So there's the thread coming up. Here's the needle going down. Now the needle is to the left of where the thread came out. So I'm wrapping that way. I'm wrapping left and around and coming back again. But it's still the same principle. I have to use my thumb of my offhand to hold it in place. I pass under the first leg, which of course now the first leg's on this side, and I control it as I pull it through. And you can see it's made the exact same little rosette. So then I could continue with the next one. And you can see that what you want to do with this stitch is play around with your spacing, keep track of your tension. You can tell that this is awkward for me to stitch it from this direction. Some people, they just be flying along with this because this is the way they normally do it, and they'd have their thread easily organized. I have to think about it every time I stitch it the upside down way. You can see how important it is to keep your thumb in place. The second I let go of that halfway through the stitch, it started to fall apart on me. And then as soon as I got it back under control, I got the nice little rosette that I wanted. So I hope you have a good time making these rosette chains.